Here, we really see the way the song begins. And it's some people say this, and other people say that, and still other people say still another thing. The first visual impression we get is chariots and chariot drivers, and that, of course, brings up the topic of chariot warfare. And warfare in the Iliad has as its most prestigious aspect chariot warfare. Mm-hmm. And then the second thing that some people say is going to be the best is seeing foot soldiers. So that is almost as good, but not quite. Mm-hmm. And then ships, and we think of the fleet of the Achaeans that come to Troy. So this is very Iliadic, isn't it? The speaker is saying, some people say that this is the most beautiful thing, or that is the most beautiful thing, or still another thing is the most beautiful thing. But I say, and this is where the speaker now says what she thinks is the most beautiful thing, and it's clear that it's a she speaker. Mm-hmm. And it's that one thing that anyone passionately loves. And I translate Erātai as not just loves, but passionately loves, because erōs, the noun, and Erātai, the verb, have to do with fits of passion. So it's not just the sentiment, it's not just the emotion. It's a very special kind of love that may be destructive.
Okay.
And here it's going to get destructive very soon. But I love the colloquialism. It's almost like everyday speech. It's really quite easy to make this understandable. Mm-hmm. And that's the beauty. One of the many beauties of Sappho's song-making traditions is that this very, very developed, complex form of self-expression, which is complex language, can pretend to be very simple language.
Okay.
And it can even pretend to be conversational language, is what's happening here. It's as if one confidant were talking to another. It's very simple for me to explain this. And then I translate, you see, when I see the Greek particle gar or ra or ara, because in the original Greek there are these markers that indicate that the speaker, hello, is visualizing something.
Right.
And so the speaker is now trying to make other people who are listening visualize the same thing. So that's why I went out of my way to translate, you see, and then what's the example? It's Helen leaving her husband Menelaos. Very Iliadic again, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Forgetting about her own young daughter and her parents back there in Sparta, not caring at all. And then all of a sudden, all this reminds me right now of Anaktoria. And Anaktoria means the queenly one, the regal one. And it's hard to know who she is, but clearly she was part, at one point, of the group to which the speaker belongs. Mm-hmm. And some people will try to pseudo-historicize this and say, oh, she was part of the school and now she's left the school. All these other explanations that really are guesswork. What's important for us is that she was part of the group, she was very well loved, and now she is not here. And it's frustrating for experts that the part where the Greek 100% sure says not is not there. But there you are. So maybe we have to say 99% sure that it was there. And then this wonderful emotive declaration, oh, how I would rather wish to see her taking a dancing step. And dancing step, so it seems as if Anaktoria was part of a chorus, of a singing and dancing group, and presumably the speaker is part of that same group. And now she's not there anymore. And just to look at her dancing step arouses what? Again, passionate love, passionate desire. Again, this family of words, erōs, or the adjective eratos, or the verb erātai, which we saw earlier. And then she's compared to the sun or the moon. Anyway, she has a luminous radiance coming from her looks. And then we loop right back to the chariots and the foot soldiers. And if we had more of this fragmentary text, probably the ships again.
So it's sort of digression to call her to mind, someone who is not present.
Yes.
And to visualize her.
And to visualize. And that's the power of this kind of medium, is it's as if she were there, but she's not.
Right.
And if she's not, then there's longing, there's desire. And for this kind of medium, the more longing there is, the better.
And so what does the framing technique of the Iliadic themes around this to tell us about the relationship between these two kinds of poetry and two kinds of topics?
It's a beautiful question, and we can't really answer it precisely because I didn't say Homer's Iliad or Homeric Iliad, I just said Iliadic. There's a good chance that whatever the story of Troy or Ilion was for Sappho, or shall we say the song culture of Sappho in 600 or thereabouts BCE, may have been different from the Homeric Iliad as we know it. But it's still Iliadic, and it still seems to highlight those things that are so prominently highlighted in the Iliad.